Hey guys, Val here, Valdada.com. This video is explain and kind of go through in a little bit more detail as far as the mechanics of the 4.8 to 30 by 56 G2. It looks like a few more people out there have a little trouble understanding exactly how to set zero stop, how to re-zero the elevation and windage knobs. So let's go through that and explain all of this functioning of the both windage and elevation turrets. Okay, so let's say this is your turret setting after you set your scope, you sighted in your scope at 100 yards. So the elevation turret is most important. It's got 3 hex screws, okay, and you have a key here, 2mm hex key. So the first thing we do is we loosen these 3 screws. In order to just re-zero the turret, you just loosen them up a couple of turns. If you want to set your zero stop as well, then we need to loosen these screws about 3-4 turns. That will let us pop the turret up and then get underneath and set a little disc that will help you set your zero stop. I'll show you in a second here. So we loosen these 3 screws, okay, and then we take the turret off, okay, and this is the disc that I was talking about. I will loosen these 3 screws, the same size, the same key, obviously. So loosen it up. And do you see the gap here? It's a factory setting. Okay, that ensures maximum amount of elevation. Now, when you set zero stop, you will see how, depending on what kind of incline you have in your rifle receiver and also in your mount, you're gonna take away some elevation adjustment when you set your zero stop. So, but so this is your disc. There's a little knobby here at the bottom, and then a little knobby at the bottom of the disc. So when we set zero stop, okay, once we loosen those 3 screws, you'll see how the disc just falls to the bottom. Then we need to rotate the disc until the bottom knobby hits the base knobby down here, okay, and then we tighten those 3 screws back up a little bit, not a lot, just finger tighten, okay. What's going to happen here when we put the turret back on and we start the elevation adjustment up, which is counterclockwise, what's going to happen, the disc is going to move with the center axis of the mechanism and get lift. So by the time the little knobby gets back to this, instead of getting locked, it's going to go over it. So you're not going to have any problem getting all of adjustment that you need. Okay, so when we put the knob back on, you can re-zero at the same time. So you just have to follow, obviously, if you're looking at the scope from the shooter's position. Now I have to face the camera so you guys can see what's going on. So anyway, you line up the zero with a mark, and we just tighten back up, tighten the screws back up, these 3, and be done. Like I said, when you want to set your zero stop and have to take the turret off, you need to loosen these 3 screws quite a bit, 3-4 complete turns, okay, until you can pop it off its axis, okay. So this is it. So you see we're perfectly lined up. Let's say you want to do an adjustment for 800 yards and then you return back to 0, you bring it back, you'll stop exactly on 0 mark, which is your 0 at 100 yards. That's it, you're done. And then obviously the windage, you just loosen the 3 screws, because the windage, you just realign the 0 on the mark, and that's done. Okay, so when you set your 0 stop on your rifle and you replace the cap back on there on the mechanism axis, do not expect the turret, the cap, to go all the way down to the bottom indicator. Okay, the only way you're going to achieve that is if you build a total of 75 MOA of incline between your receiver and the mount, which we don't recommend. We recommend that you have at least 10 MOA before you hit the hard bottom of the mechanism. So anyway, bottom line is, when you reset the cap after you set your 0 stop, you will see 1, 2, possibly 3 lines, depending on how much elevation, how much incline you have built into your rifle receiver or your mount. So you replace your turret cap here, line up the 0 on mark, and you tighten up the screws. Now, one more little detail. If you move later on, if you move your scope to a new rifle, okay, what you need to do is reset, release your old 0 stop, okay, and place the disc in a factory setting, like when the scope was new. So you release this, loosen it up, and then you lift the disc up, so you built up this gap here. Okay, that's the original setting when your scope was brand new out of the box. This way you're not going to run into a conflict when you sight in your scope on your new rifle. You might be able to, you might need to go below the old 0 stop setting on your new rifle. So this will give you full capability of the elevation adjustment to set your 100-yard 0 on your new rifle. Okay, so then we place the cap back on, and that's it. All right, so thank you for watching the video. Again, you need more details or didn't quite understand something, please don't hesitate to call us or look us up on Valdada.com. Have a nice day. We'll see you soon. Thank you.